Next, we'll be working on thoracic spine. I grabbed my kiddo's super pimped out bike helmet. You can use a tool that's roundish and squishable. Maybe a sofa cushion might work, like a sofa pillow. At the gym, we use those squishy, foamy wall balls that are like giant, but rather moderate in weight, so 10-pound weight maybe. And I just want you to hug it. If you've got nothing to squeeze, you can just squeeze yourself. Isn't that nice? You can grasp a little bit of fabric here to get a better grip. We're going between 50 and 75% effort here. Again, kneeling or standing. This time I want you to tuck the toes under and try to pull the floor apart between your knees, like you're trying to make a crack, tear your mat in half right here, okay? With 50% tension. And then take a breath, tuck the tail as you exhale and pull the ribs in as you exhale, getting a nice canister body here. And let's start by just rotating on each exhale, right and left. Now, and then inhaling as you come through the center. The tricky part with this is not letting your hips come with you. So your sternum is going as far to the right and left as possible, but your hip headlights are shining in the same spot the entire time. So you might have to squeeze even harder here to keep your knees or your thighs from rotating. Okay? And most of this work will just inherently come through the upper to mid back because we're tucking our tail under, and that basically isolates out the low back or minimizes greatly its help. Let's do one more each way. If you find a sticky spot, you can stay there and breathe rather than moving on. Nice. And then we'll come back to neutral. And we're going to go, just like we did with the neck, we're going to go up and down now, except different order, right? So let's start by inhaling, checking that we still have the ribs and the tail set, and then curling over our object or just rounding until we feel like imagine you're at the wall and you peel your upper back away from the wall one vertebrae at a time, but right here in the mid back, if you have a bra on, it's where your bra band is still in contact, okay? That's still in contact, so you're not going like that. See the difference? And then let's inhale, come through center, and then think about lifting that sternum up to the sky. You should feel if you feel any pinchy effort, it should be in that upper back. The low back and the glutes are not extending. You're keeping the tail tucked firmly. So if there's any effort down here, it's just to keep the tail tucked under it, not let the low back in. Don't let that low back in. Here we go. Let's exhale forward. Peel down, chin, and then imagine one vertebrae at a time coming off the wall till you get to that mid back. And then inhale, roll up, lift the sternum, keep those ribs on the body. So tension here in the front line. One more time. Exhale. And inhale through. And then back to neutral. Okay. Let's move to standing for our smashing that together portion. My knees are tired. I'm imagining yours are too. If they aren't, nice work. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Okay. So here we are, standing for our thoracic cars. We're just going to do one each direction, like we did with our neck. So crisscross, applesauce, squeeze your thing if you've got a thing to squeeze, and let's take a breath. Exhale, roll forward. Now listen, we're going to stay crunched forward, but we're also going to twist to our right. So pull those elbows over to your right front hip pocket. So you're still rounding forward, and now you're rotating. Next, this is a tricky spot. You're going to, instead of rotate to your right, you're going to side bend. So imagine that wall behind you again, and just peel that left shoulder back until you feel like you've made contact with that wall behind you, And then side bend the heck, try to expand that left side as much as possible. Squish the right side, keep pushing evenly through the feet, and go as far to the side as you can without letting that left shoulder round forward. Now we're gonna arc all the way over to the left. So come right through the center. If you have a little bit of lift in the sternum, that's great, but keep that low back quiet. Side bend to your left. Yeah, nice. Keep pushing evenly through the feet. Keep pulling that right shoulder back till you feel like they're stacked. Now, elbows are gonna float to over the right or left hip, front hip pocket. So just rotate down. So now you're back in the side bend plus the squish forward. Last stop is elbows right over the center. So now you're just rounding and then rolling up. Let's go again. I'll give you another point of view. Inhale. Exhale, pull the floor apart, draw the ribs back, tuck the tail, round over that space. Pull your elbows over to the left hip pocket. Then side bend to your left. Keep those ribs on the body. Pull that right shoulder back, back. Nice. And then let's arc up over to the right side. So big extension through the upper back. It will look tiny if you decide to record yourself. It's a tiny little extension, but trust me, it's working. Side bending to your right. Now close it down, flex forward and side bend. So elbows over that right hip pocket. And then rotate your spine to a forward flexion and then roll it on up. Yes.